already knew something was coming. Like I was like, I knew in my head that if I didn't get out of that apartment, I was gonna die. So I was already prepared for me to fight him off.
So today we're talking about some TikTok videos that I came across of a woman who's getting divorced after just 3 months of marriage. So the videos are like 30 minutes in total, like 30, 35 minutes or something like that. So I'm just summing it up for you today so we can see what happened. But before we do that, I just want to take a moment to say, hey, my name is Miss April May, and I hope you're having a blessed day. If this is your first time visiting my channel, thanks for stopping by. And if you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Either way, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Now, let's get into it. So, the creator of this series of videos, she said that she is 27 years old and she is now getting divorced after just 3 months of marriage. So, she said that she and her husband, they met, dated, and got married all within a year. I think less than a year, actually, which is probably its own red flag. But in her words, she described him as alcoholic. She said he drank way too much and was definitely an alcoholic, but that if you would have asked him, he would not have described himself as an alcoholic. And it seems like his drinking was like intermittent, like sometimes off and on. Sometimes he would drink, sometimes he wouldn't. Sometimes he was sober, sometimes he wasn't. And she felt like the times that he would drink, he wasn't, I guess, getting super drunk where it was like worrying. She thought like he was just having like little slip ups here and there, but that he was like mostly for the most part all right.
Be ex-husband is an alcoholic, and he always claimed that he actually wasn't an alcoholic, which is red flag number one. But he's an alcoholic, so there would be times where he would occasionally slip up when it comes to drinking while we were still dating, but it wouldn't be anything major. It'd be like a couple Four Locos or something, but he wouldn't be like drunk or messed up. Well, actually there was a couple times where he got drunk, but I never thought too much of it because it was like once every blue moon. So I was like, oh, okay, he's just going through some things. Mental health and black men, he just needs somebody to be there for him. I'm not going to be that woman that turns my back on him when he needs somebody, yada, yada, yada.
So obviously she admits that like the whole drinking thing was definitely a red flag, but she kind of ignored it because she was like, he was great, he was handsome, he was loving. She really thought like, oh my God, this is the guy for me. This is the guy that God has brought to me. Like this is great. I am happy. And one day they were out somewhere, and he looked at her and was like, hey, you want to get married? We should get married. And they got married that day. She said they bought the rings, they went to the store, got the rings, went up to the courthouse, and got married that day. Imagine it's just like a random Tuesday, and like your man or your girlfriend looks at you and is like, hey, you want to get married? And you're like, yeah. Okay, let's go to the courthouse. Whew. And that same day that they got married, he actually went to the store, got a bottle of wine to celebrate. And she said from that day forward, he began drinking every day. So there was no longer, okay, he's having a bad day or a bad week and is drinking. It was like, no, now he's drinking every day now. So from the marriage until when the marriage started until whenever he started drinking every single day. And pretty much immediately after they got married, he pretty much like dropped the mask. And I'm sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. Like when you feel like you know a person and all of a sudden they become the real them. They dropped the representative, right? He dropped the mask and he stopped doing any and everything. Like stopped cooking, stopped cleaning, wouldn't help her around the house, and even like quit his job. And she said from that point, he was drunk every day. He was drinking every day to the point that he was drunk every day. Like he would wake up and immediately go to the gas station to like get beer or like get whatever. But it seems like he was drinking 24/7, 7 days a week, right? And in her own words, she said that she felt like a caretaker and like she felt like a mom having a newborn baby because she said she had to do everything. She had to cook for him, clean, do this, do that on top of working because now she had to take care of everything. And I could definitely see where she felt like she just had a newborn baby. And it's like, also imagine you just get married. So you're so happy, you're so like ecstatic, right? I'm married, I'm married, and then it all crumbles. It seems like in a week, it seems like everything went to hell. And this is the point where she starts bringing up rehab and telling him like, "Hey, you need to go to rehab. I'll stick beside you, but like this is something that you need to do for your health so that you live, you know?" and he just refused to go because of course we all should know you cannot force someone to go to rehab. A person has to be willing to go to rehab and to do the work, because going to rehab is hard, addiction is hard. So someone has to be willing to do it. No one can be forced, no matter the circumstances. It really can't be forced. They have to do it willingly. Next, we're going to fast forward, and she doesn't give like exact dates or timelines for everything, but we do have to remember that the marriage only lasted 3 months. So this is all happening very, very quickly. Okay. But next, fast forward, one day she's like at the window and she overhears him talking on the phone outside. Okay, and she's listening to the conversation, and basically he's saying to someone, I really just want to be with you, I want to be with you, and blah 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 blah, I wish I could just be with you. Turns out he was talking to his ex girlfriend. So of course, obviously, she goes out to confront him, right? Rightfully so. She goes outside to confront him while he's on the phone talking to his ex-girlfriend, saying, girl, I want to be with you, basically like, fuck my wife, I don't like her. And they get into an argument because she confronts him. She starts crying, right? And then she said that he kind of tears up and looks kind of sad. But obviously, he didn't feel that bad because afterwards they go back into the house, and then he goes into their bedroom. He closes the door. She's standing on the other side of the door listening. He called the ex girlfriend back and is basically saying the same stuff over and over again, like, girl, I want you. I'm trying to be with you. What's good?
So he was drunk and he was outside talking on the phone. And my spider senses was tingling. So I'm at the window. Like, cause he was standing next to the window. I'm listening to his conversation. He's on the phone with his ex-girlfriend. He's on the phone with his ex-girlfriend confessing that he wants to be with her. Whatever it takes, we can forget about the past. I want to be with you. I want to be with you. I'll leave right now. You just gotta tell me that you want this. Mind you, we're married. So I walk outside like, nigga, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Why are you talking? Who are you talking to, first of all? And I found out it was his ex, and that really pissed me off. Like, I started crying. And I was like, why would you do this to me? Why would you wait till after we get married to do all this? You could have just left me alone. You could have left me where I was. We could have stayed the boyfriend and girlfriend. You didn't have to marry me. Now we have to, like, in order to separate, we have to get divorced. There's no breaking up and just walking away. We have to get divorced. So I was pissed, and he saw me crying, and he started to tear up. Like, it seemed like it bothered him that he hurt me, but not enough to stop. Because he went into the house. He went into the house, like literally after that conversation, went into the house, called her again in the bedroom while I'm standing right there.
So she confronts him again about him speaking to the ex girlfriend, and he claims, "Oh, babe, I was just drunk. I don't remember any of that." And this is going to become a recurring theme in these videos, in the story of, "Oh, I was drunk. I don't remember. Oh, I was drunk. I didn't do that. Oh, you must be hearing things." The gaslighting, it's the gaslighting for me. But she moves on because she's like, we're married now. We have to try to stay together and all of that jazz. So she tries to move on because she's like, okay, this was just like a conversation between him and his ex-girlfriend, and there was like no actual physical cheating. It was just a conversation. So it seems like she kind of let it go and moved on. Not too long after this, and once again, we don't have like exact dates for everything, but not long after this, he goes out of town, goes to another city with, she didn't say exactly who, but she said it was a man. It was like a family member, friend, something like that, but a man, right? So he goes out of town, him and this guy, and while husband and other guy are out of town, she is calling him, texting him, blowing up his phone. He is not answering, he is not responding. The only thing that she has is Find My Phone, so she could look at the phone and see, okay, yeah, he's over on Main Street, but she's not from that city. She hasn't been to that city, so she doesn't know anything about that city. All she sees is, you know, he's there. That's it. Turns out later on, she finds out that the same ex-girlfriend that he was talking to on the phone saying, "Hey girl, I want to be with you," actually lives in that city. Hmm. So they talk about it. She confronts him about it, and he says that nothing happens, and she has no proof that anything even happened. She has no proof that he even saw the ex girlfriend while he was visiting. So once again, she kind of tries to let it go. And she also says this entire time she's really praying to God about her marriage and journaling. She even says that if you open her journal to one of the pages, it just says, please God. And this is another reoccurring theme in this whole story. And it's the almost like idolatry of marriage. Like I understand, I'm a lover girl too, kind of. Right? We all want this great man who's like gonna love us and be there for us and be a great husband. I totally understand you, girl, but we almost idolize it so much and just the institution of marriage that there could be 15 red flags staring us in the face, like flag on the field or whatever. I don't know. I don't do sports. And many women are just like, oh, he's going to change. Oh, I can make him better. Oh, he has X, Y, and Z problem, but like he's really a good guy. Like I need women to give ourselves the grace that we give to men. So once again, we're going to fast forward and we're going to fast forward to Christmas Eve. Now, Christmas Eve, they were in the house, her husband and some family members. And then the plan was they were having game night, I think. And then the plan was they were supposed to leave at some point and go see other family members elsewhere. But meanwhile, while they were having game night in the house with the family, he had been drinking all day. She said he had a bottle, like, one of the big bottles of tequila, and he had been taking shots of that all day. And this is how you know it's a problem when you're taking shots all day, one. But number two, she said that he would drink it in the closet. So it feels like to me that he knew that she knew he was drinking, but maybe the other family members, maybe people who didn't live with them and didn't see him on a regular basis, didn't know how much he drinks. So he was actually drinking it in the closet. And then I think they got into a car with a family member, and the family member looked at him and was like, you're drunk. So he and the family member kind of like got into a little argument or whatever, to the point where she even apologized to the family member, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Because, of course, that's her husband. So she feels bad. If he does something wrong, she's going to apologize. But anyway, so then after they get back to the house, after they leave that family member, they get back to the house, and the first thing he does is go into the closet to take a shot of from his bottle. And she says she saw the bottle. Remember, this is a big bottle. We ain't talking about, a little, we're talking like a bottle, a big bottle. She said it was almost gone. Like there was maybe 2, 3 shots left in it because he had been drinking it all day. So this is where things really blow up. And I think this is where divorce really, really starts playing in her mind. Okay. So remember, we're in the house, it's Christmas Eve, and they just came back. Now they're back in the house, and he goes to the closet, get his drink. She gets him out the house. She's like, I want you out of here. Please leave. She says she takes the bottle and kind of like leads him along to leave the house because he didn't just want to leave of his own volition. She kind of had to, like, the bottle was like catnip and he was a cat. Okay. And she got him out of the house finally. Now they're on the porch, they're going back and forth. She says she's even cursing at him, and she's not really a girl who likes to curse too much. So she's cursing at him, he's cursing back, he's arguing, she's arguing, they're going back and forth. Okay. And this is where shit gets sticky. So they're on the porch, and he wants to go back into the house, but she had the sense to lock the door because she didn't want him in the house. So I'm guessing as soon as she got outside and got him outside, she locked the door. So he tries to turn a knob. He's trying to get into the house. He can't get into the house. She's yelling like through the door to her family, and her son, don't know how old he is, but her son is in there. And she's like, do not open this door. So he's trying to get into this house, and he says, oh, I should punch you or I should hit you. And she's like, all right, so do it. And then he doesn't. But then they keep arguing, keep going back and forth. And the next thing she knows, he's got his 2 hands around his neck. And she said, like, her body, her feet are dangling because she's like leaned over the rail on her porch. Her feet are dangling, and like her head was like almost in the bushes behind them because he is literally choking her out. Like he wanted to kill her, if you ask me.
So I'm walking back on the porch and he's following me. I had already locked the front door by this time, by the way. I had already locked the front door because I knew he was going to try to get back inside. So he's following me. He get back on the porch and I keep telling him to leave. I was like, leave, leave. I don't want you here. Leave. He refused to leave. Instead, oh, he pushes me. He's pushing me at this point, and I got on heels, so I'm tumbling back. And the neighbors see everything. They're like, "Hey, man, chill, chill. Y'all gotta chill. Like it's Christmas Eve. Don't do that. Whatever, man. Just leave her alone. Just go." No, he wouldn't listen. So he tried to go back in the house, but the door locked. So he banging on the door, ringing the doorbell. Why my family's there? My son comes to the door to try to open the door, and I'm like, "Don't open the door. Don't open the door. Like, do not open the door." So my son sees me. He doesn't open the door, and by this time my family is walking up to the door. My soon-to-be ex-husband looks me in my face with eyes so dark I don't recognize him. It was literally like he was possessed, like something overtook him. Like it scared me. He looked at me. He grabbed both hands and put them around my neck and was strangling me. I'm hanging over the railing on the porch with my feet dangling. And time is moving by slow at this point. I don't have any idea how long he strangled me. It could have been 3 seconds, 30 seconds, 3 minutes. I wouldn't have known the difference because I was like out of body and things literally moved in slow motion. All I remember is staring at him with his hands around my neck, thinking, like, this man that I love is strangling me. He has his hands wrapped around my neck, holding me over the railing of my front porch.
So now some of her family members, they rush out, they get him off of her, and they call 911. Well, she called 911 because she's like, it hurts to talk, it hurts to swallow. So she calls 911 to get checked out. And they also call the cops to come get him because he tried to kill her. So that was Christmas Eve. Now we fast forward to after New Year's. She doesn't give an exact date, but like after New Year's. So after New Year's, someone in his family, on his family side, they had bailed him out of jail. And now they're kind of like separated because he's no longer living with her. He's living with some of his family members. So he's in his family's house. She's over there at her house, her and her son. So at this time, they're physically separated, but they're still kind of talking. And this is where I'm not trying to come at her specifically, but this is where I feel like a lot of women mess up because you saw he was an alcoholic. You saw, okay, now you got to take care of him. You got to cook for him, clean for him. He stopped working, all of these things. And now, after he has choked you, now they're still like connected. So they had agreed that he would go to AA, he would go to anger management, and after he had did those things, then they would go to couples counseling because they had things to work on. The only thing you should have been working on was getting a lawyer. And now they're spending less time together because, like I said, she's living in her house. He's living with family. They're spending less time together. He has a new job. He's working overnight. They're not talking as much, all of these things. And now she's starting to feel guilty for basically sending him to jail and that he had to go through the whole ordeal of being in jail and all of that. Then she says on February 7th was her birthday. So this is still like all kind of fresh because it's seeming like we're talking about Christmas Eve. That was like 3 days ago. Okay. And her birthday was February 7th. What's today? The 20th. Okay. So this is still really fresh. So she says her birthday is February 7th and she wanted to see him for her birthday. She had plans to like go out with some friends, but she also wanted to see him. So she called him to like make arrangements to like stop by his place, right? And she said as soon as she got on the phone with him, she felt like he might be intoxicated, right? So she asked him, like, hey, have you been drinking or whatever? And he's like, no. And she's like, I don't know. So she says to herself, okay, if I go over there and he isn't sober, like this is done. Like you couldn't even hold it together one day for my birthday. Like you knew you were gonna see me. Like why would you even drink today? So she gets to the house and she's like, "Oh, I'm kind of concerned for him because he looks different." She's like, "All of his muscle tone is gone. His hair was looking crazy." And she said like his eyes were dead. And this is something I have heard a lot from people of when people are drinking, like having dead eyes, like their eyes kind of go black, or even when someone's very, very angry and like they have a significant anger issue, like their eyes kind of go black. Like even if you, I have dark eyes, right? But like black, like there's nothing there, like there's emptiness. It's just like dead eyes. So she's worried about him. She says he looks different. He doesn't look like his normal self. So she's like, well, what the hell is going on? And that he kind of almost looks strung out because he has also started smoking pens. Like, I don't know if I could say this on YouTube. The the Mary Jane, yeah, Mary Jane pens. So she's like worried about him and his health or whatever. As like he was acting strange and he was also like doing this strange laugh. And then when she did the laugh, I was kind of like, this reminds me of like the Joker, you know, that maniacal type of laugh when someone's just like that shit crazy. That's what it was giving. So they walk up to the apartment. He opens the door, and she's like, the whole time he was acting kind of strange, and like at first walking behind her, and she was like, "Nah, walk in front of me," because she's jumping. Jumpy, like this man just choked her out a few weeks ago. So, which is also like, if he choked you out, like why would you go? Why would you even want to see him? And that's always my question. Like, I understand what do you call it? PTSD. I understand, you know, wanting to be married and like trying to stick beside people, but like also what about you? And also what about taking care of yourself and taking care of like your child? Okay. So they get into the apartment and she's like, oh my God, something's like not right. He's acting weird. He's laughing really strangely. And she's honestly terrified. And she says that he turned off the lights and he locked the door behind him. And he was like, you're not getting out of here. I'm gonna do something to you. I'm gonna hurt you. You're not leaving. And she said at this point she has her keys, like her car keys, I guess, in between, because in between her fingers, because she doesn't have any weapons, like she doesn't have a pew pew or you know. So her fingers, her nails, whatever, that's her keys, that's all she has. So she's ready to fight and get out of here if she needs to, because she says to herself, if I do not get out of this apartment, like that's it for me. I'm not making it home. And he's telling her like, "No, it's okay. It's okay. I just want to give you a hug." So she gives him the hug because unfortunately, that's what women have to do sometimes when they're in a situation with a man alone and they're scared this man is going to hurt them. Many women have been in a situation where they're like, "Okay, I have to touch him. I have to hug him because he asked, and then maybe he'll let me go." So she gives him the hug. Eventually, she ends up being able to push away and get out of the apartment, and thank God, right? She gets out of the apartment and he follows her out, but she's like, okay, it's fine as long as I got out of the apartment, because it's an apartment, there are neighbors. If he tries to do something to me out in the hallway, I can still scream at the top of my lungs and at least one person's gonna come out and help me or call the cops or something, right? So she finally gets out of the apartment. He follows her and she's like, what are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? Yada yada yada. You said you were gonna hurt me. You said you were gonna do something to me. And he was like, "Nah, I didn't say that. What are you talking about? You must be." That was my cat. You must be, you must be hearing things. You must be hearing things. Once again, making her seem like she's crazy and gaslighting her. So that's basically the end of the story. She got out of the apartment and she makes it home and she hasn't heard from him since. But this seems like, what was that, like 2 weeks ago? Because I believe this is this current year that this happened. So for me, the moral of the story is always be careful. So for me, the moral of the story is, you know, always be careful. Always, you know, say to yourself, if someone shows me a red flag, I need to believe them. That red flag is blaring and glaring in my face for a reason. I need to take heed. So please, guys, let me know in the comments how you feel about this story. What do you want, story times, more story times like this, or just like what types of videos that you guys want? I would love to hear from you and I would love to hear your opinions and things like that. So thanks for stopping by. My name is Miss April May. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
You're officially coming with me. You got that.